And we're live. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another 3D Hangouts. My name is Noah Ruiz. I'm a designer here at Adafruit.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Pedro Ruiz, Creative Tech here at Adafruit, and every week we come to share 3D printing projects featuring electronics from Adafruit.
That's right. This is where we combine 3D printing, DIY electronics to make inspirational projects for you folks. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Let's go ahead and kick off the show with a happy coupon code for everybody. So if you want to pick up anything at Adafruit shop, you can use this coupon code at checkout and get 10% off your order. It's Bowsette, by the way. That's how you say it. It's Bowsette, and we'll talk more about it once we talk about this week's project. Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody out there. Thank you so much for joining us. We are live streaming on all the platforms, so huge shout outs to the folks that are watching live. We got some free deals going on still, so go to adafruit.com/free to check out all of the awesome deals that we have going on. They are some really good ones. For the one I like the best is the orders over $200 or more. You get free shipping on that. That's pretty good if you're trying to buy a printer. It's really nice. Same day delivery in New York City is an option for some folks there that have certain zip codes in New York City, so check out the website for options. CircuitPython meeting happens every Monday at 2 p.m. by Scott Shawcroft, who is our lead CircuitPython dev, along with Katney and Dan and the other folks that are contributing. So check out if you want to sit in on the CircuitPython meeting, find out all the developments and things, and even share your projects every Monday at 2 p.m. Every single day we get an Adafruit Daily Digest email. If you want to opt into that, you got to subscribe to that. You go to adafruitdaily.com for that one. You want once a week, we do the product newsletter. This one's all about the Adafruit products that happen every week. There's always new stuff every week, which is, I don't know how they do that. So check out the newsletter to find out how. Discord is where the party is at 24/7. Thank you so much for joining us in the Discord chat room. We're hanging out there right now. We got some cool stuff that we're going to share a little bit later in the prototyping area, but there is the Discord. What's the Discord link? Pedro says it is discord.gg/Adafruit or adafruit.it/Discord. Any of those two will get you there if you're not a member of our Discord community. I encourage you to do so. It's pretty fun. You get some perks like, asking
sneak peeks and leaks, all of the cool stuff that everybody's working on. Definitely.
Even name some products like the prop maker one. Yeah. Super cool. Well, I think that's the housekeeping stuff for the show. Paige is getting some coffee, getting all juiced up, and we got a project this week. So let me go to that tab. Go head on over to the Learning System, learn.adafruit.com. You will see this guy.
That's right. This week's project is a take on the Bowsette train that's been going through the internet.
Originally, it was going to be Princess Peach. It still is.
Yes, this is like the evolution where, she has not fully turned into Bowsette with the shell and Koopa tail and all that. So this is just the horns that have sprouted using our previous horns from another project many years ago. This is all Ninjaflex. So this is all flexible material. This is the 85A material. So this is very elastic.
75A?
85A.
Oh, okay. Very
elastic. A little bit difficult to print, but it looks excellent in the gold sheen color that we have in stock in the shop. Yeah. Check out the quality of this beautiful sparkly, which seems to be the trend that all the filming
Oh gosh, I like sparkle filament. It is such a good thing with all these projects.
The flexible material here we're using for the horns, it's actually cheetah, so it's 95A, and this is glow in the dark. So if we have a black light, you can see it do a nice little glow in the dark dance.
Dark the things. Yeah, you can charge it up and get the pigment to really shine.
Yeah, it's gonna be excellent for Halloween. We're using the translucent material, PLA, that we have in the shop as well to illuminate all these with 10mm sized LEDs on there. Nice little construction, all hooked up to a GEMMA M0 running CircuitPython.
Yeah.
Have a little 150 milliamp hour LiPo battery on there. It's being held in place with a pocket that attaches to the entire assembly.
Super smart way to kind of protect your LiPo batteries. They are a little fragile. You don't want to squish them, so a Ninjaflex pocket can help out.
Yeah, so the way that this is constructed is that the Ninjaflex holds the 10mm LEDs, and then the gems all pop and press fit into place here. So they just hold on.
Yeah, this is great. None of these are glued in, so you can take them out if you need to, swap out the colors.
or even swap out the LEDs, because the way that these are all constructed are the female jumper cables.
Do you want to grab you some?
So we can just demonstrate here. These all pop out like that. So super easy in terms of soldering and connecting all these. And hook these up like that.
There you go.
And then if we take a look at how this Ninjaflex actually comes out, we showed last week, so you guys would not get discouraged. This is actually how it comes off the build plate, since we have to turn off retraction, since it does seem to mess with the extrusion after you do any retraction on that.
It's a good safe bet. You're going to get no under extrusion if you just turn off retraction.
I mean, it's just going to work. And then, like we were saying before, these just fit through like that. Push and then press fit into place. The little gems go on here like that, and there you go. No glue needed for all that.
They're sort of keyed too, because they only go one way, so that's really nice.
Yep, so you can get that angle and that very nice diffusion on there that's going on. Can I demonstrate that with just putting one of these?
Yeah, the 10mm LEDs are already diffused, which helps a lot. One of the tips you can do if you have one that is diffused, hit it with some sandpaper. Easy.
Yeah, check out.
Look at this. These are already diffused. Super bright. Using what, the coin cell?
Yeah, I'm just using a coin here. So.
Yeah, so you can do it a number of different ways. You could do just a coin cell and have them all on, or you could go this route where you have some nice PWM pulsing LEDs with the $7 GEMMA. It's really great. GEMMA has an on-off switch, so you don't have to solder an on-off switch. It's already built in.
Yeah.
Plus, you can upload new code by just plugging in the USB. That's the best part of it.
So another cool thing about working with Ninjaflex is that you have the ability to cut these. You can punch holes into it. You can even just use you can sew into it. We have these little keyed parts here, so you can adjust the length and the size of whatever headband you can use that attaches onto your head.
There we go. Let's go to the facey cam. This one. Sorry.
And of course, it's light. Goes onto your head.
Emerges. Or
appears. Super easy costume.
Yeah, this is great. It holds on your head pretty good.
Yeah.
Because it's an actual hairband. We didn't 3D print the headband, but you could if you wanted to.
Definitely print this.
We did do that, but we couldn't find that steel.
Oh yeah.
True story.
A couple other projects ago.
We couldn't find that steel.
Taking a close look at these horns that you actually designed in.
Yeah, I designed these in 123D, which is like a baby version of Fusion. It's a dead app, but it's now Fusion, so. We brought it into Fusion, and it worked really well. You can import your 123D files into Fusion natively now, which is what you did, yeah? Just upload it.
Yep, just uploaded that.
Yeah, these are great little hollow. They're already hollowed for you, and they have these tabs, so they fit on your standard kind of Velcro straps or even elastic straps. At some point, we'll probably show those other horns that we did a couple years ago, the fire horns.
We'll show those in the shop talk. We do have bigger ones that you can stick. You can actually just do that with these strip of LED, have these do a flaming animation that we actually have. We'll show those off a little bit later.
Really great. No, not sharp. They're bendy. They can't break. You can cut them. The only issue is a little bit of overhang. Not a problem.
Yeah.
Kind of adds.
It just depends on how good your cooling is, because you can take a look at the more recently printed ones on the Inventor 2 we have in stock in the shop. You can see how much better it did than the Replicator 2 like 5-6 years ago. These are printed out. These are so old, but still work really good.
Yep. One of the tips would be to print them separately. Don't print two at the same time. Let's jump into the Learn Guide and look at the project, all the parts that were used to build the project. I'll walk through this for you. So we got a nice parts list, not that much stuff here going on. We got the GEMMA, a couple LEDs, and a battery. Of course, you want to have some extra things like resistors. We do carry those in the shop now, so if you need yourself some 220 ohm resistors, those work really well with a wide variety of LEDs. For the wiring, we're using these jumper cables. If you don't have these jumper cables, go ahead and pick some up, or use some silicone wires, whatever you prefer. But we got most of the stuff in the shop. Some tools as well. Wire strippers, wire cutter, soldering iron, all that stuff is in the shop, hand-picked by Lady Ada herself, so they're good stuff. Check it out. We also got the printer there that we're stocking now, the Inventor 2 from Monoprice, which is really Flash Forge, and it does prints Ninjaflex beautifully. So those are the parts again, nice pictures for them. One of the extra parts we thought we'd add in here, now the GEMMA is a great board. It doesn't have some of the features like a feather would, like the built-in USB recharging, so we do have a little USB breakout for charging your lipo batteries. This one's nice. That Ninjaflex filament, we do stock it, and I would totally pick some of this up It is on sale right now for 30 bucks with the 10% out discount. This stuff is normally $60. I don't know why. It's kind of discontinued. You can't get this stuff anymore. The manufacturer stopped carrying it?
No, I think they still have it, but not for 30 bucks. So definitely pick it up.
Yeah. I don't know if that's a typo. Let us know. If you put it in the checkout and it says no, that's, I don't know. I think it'll work though. Check it out. PID 2446. This is some really good stuff. We're going to be using this a lot more.
We've used it for quite a bit of things. Like we were saying before, we used the Ninjaflex bumper case for the iPhones, as well as some of the iWatch bumpers that we've never released. So maybe we should work on one of those. Yeah,
that's right. I remember that. A lot of those little projects we don't release. All right, and there's the printer in stock as well. You can get free shipping on that. It's a nice kind of, would you call it like a beginner printer? Like I wish we had this when we were beginners. Like that would have been great to have Wi-Fi and a reliable printer that can print complex geometry. Cool.
Definitely check it out.
Yep. LEDs every color. Yeah. They come in a pack of 25, so you get a nice handful of them.
Really love the yellow LEDs, which is what I was demonstrating here. Really love the way the light shines.
Look at that amber color almost. We also have them in 5mm, which are not diffused, but these are really great.
I just figured this would be better because of the gem, how big the gem is.
It works really well.
You can see how good it does at illuminating all those.
Don't eat them, they look delicious. All right, so those are a rundown of the parts and tools. Let's look at the 3D printing aspect. We got a nice guide here. These are the parts. So 2 Ninjaflex parts, and the gems are PLA. There's our printer there. We got the STLs and Thingiverse. We have the horns available as a shared Fusion 360 file. So the battery pocket.
And then you can edit the crown inside of Tinkercad. So if you want to make it bigger or smaller, the cutouts will remain the same. So you can just scale that up. And the 10mm port for all of the LEDs will still stay the same.
Yeah. Excellent. The source files are also available to download if you want to pick up the GEMMA M0 as a 3D CAD file. We have it separate, standalone in our GitHub repo, so you can check that out. How about the slice settings?
So these are general slice settings for using flexible materials. Some people are asking if their printer can be compatible with it. So one of the things you want to do is just slow it way down to 30mm a second, turn off retraction, increase the temperature to about 240 degrees.
230 or 240?
235 actually. Okay. 235.
Yeah, we like printing hotter, just to make sure that doesn't be the issue.
And yeah, 30mm to 40mm a second. I would go with 30mm a second. Printing slower is not going to hurt it too much, so definitely try that out and then work your way up.
I would print some tests first, like some circle cuffs or something.
Yeah, something circular that doesn't have a lot of retraction, or you could go ahead and just try this with all the retractions on there.
It's a lot of, it takes maybe 4 or 5 hours?
No, this takes about 11 hours to print, so it is going to take some time to print.
It's a big print, a lot of layers.
Yeah, 200mm layer height.
It's slow, so 30mm a second. But you get this print that lasts forever.
Yeah, it's pretty much. It's indestructible.
Yep. But you can't cut it. So that's the only kind of post-processing is just kind of cleaning up those stranded hairs. Best way to do so is those flush cutters, man. They work really, really well. I love these things for cutting all sorts of support materials. Where's my overhead?
Quick tip, if you already have these and you use these for a lot of things like chopping off the legs on your
trimming your nails,
or
your hangnails.
Yeah, you're definitely going to start to introduce
them,
you're going to get like chips in them, you're going to get them all dull, so you definitely want to have a brand new set just for cutting your filament. That's going to make a big difference in how close you're actually able to cut away at the overhangs. So definitely get a fresh new pair, or just sharpen your existing ones. Make sure you have
they're great. You can get to really tight spots,
clean blades. Hobby knife works as well, but not as good as being able to just grab a chunk, rip it off.
All right, so
it takes a while, maybe 10 minutes to fully clean all those up, but once you're done, you can see just how perfect it looks.
Good bird's nest of Ninjaflex.
Circuit diagram, this is hooked up to 2 of the pads on the GEMMA, and everything is being shared through the ground pad on there, so just make sure that you have enough room to stick all of the ground connections on there. The way this is wired up is each adjacent LED is connected or joined together. So these two are connected. These two are connected to the same pad. Reason being is we don't have that many connections. Also, if you wanted to change the code and have these sort of offset, so this one's blinking while that one's turning on, you can sort of have that, and they'll all be sort of different at the same rate with the offset. I
think another benefit is the current. So the current's kind of, maybe that's helping out, going to 2 different pins, maybe. And yeah, you get the ability to have different animations for the LEDs.
Yeah, we're using D0 and D2 for the connections, just because I can do the PWM on there. And I think the other one does cap touch. The other one, so you can actually have another button.
That would be cool, yeah.
I don't know, somewhere like cap touch, like with copper tape or something, that would change the modes or increase the speed of the flashing or something. Yeah. There's some sort of controller you can add to that. Using 150 milliamp hour battery on there, 220 ohm resistors on the positive side of the LED, all connected. Sweet. And I give you the distances that you'll require for the furthest LEDs away from where the GEMMA will be mounted. 150 millimeters and about 30 millimeters for the closest ones. Good reference. Also, the fritzing parts, to create these wiring diagrams, you use the fritzing software, which is linked over here, and we have a library or individual parts if you want to build your own circuit diagrams. Yes. Moving on to the code part about this. This is all done in CircuitPython. That's right. We have a standalone guide for setting up your GEMMA M0 with CircuitPython. It ships with CircuitPython, but chances are we have a newer version of CircuitPython, so you can easily flash it, get yourself the latest version, and get. You don't necessarily need the library bundle, because it's kind of Pulse.io is already built into that, but you can do that too. We also have how to install Python editor Mu, which is our favorite Python editor. And we also have the code available on GitHub if anyone wants to fork it, or just straight download here as an embed. So it works very well. Basically, we're setting up 2 PWM objects and 2 LEDs, and then we just kind of create this nice brightness. And huge shout out to Mikey Scalar, who is a contributor to Adafruit, who actually wrote this code. We just kind of modified it a little bit. So that works out really well. So check it out. It is up on, like I said, GitHub, and as a kind of embedded download here. Moving on to the assembly. This is where we are going to install everything. Give me a second here. All right, moving on to the mounting of LEDs. As we said before, super easy, press fits through the Ninjaflex Crown, and then we top it off with the gem right on top, and that sort of sandwiches it, holds it in place. The opening is big enough that when the flange goes up against it, it's not going to go all the way through. So thankfully, the LEDs do have that to prevent it from going all the way through. And that's what I'm talking about right here. It's a small one, but it's a little flange. It's big enough just to fit that through. Another reason why I liked using the Ninjaflex was I didn't have to worry too much about having a perfect tolerance, since I can make it just a little bit smaller, and that definitely helps out in holding the LED in place. Like, there you go. Sweet. So it won't push all the way through. Excellent. So it stops there, and then you just mount the LED right on top of it. Like you were saying, it is keyed, so you can't put this in the wrong way. It won't fit, just because of the way the angle of the gems and the way that this is actually curved, like that, it wouldn't fit perfectly straight. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention about the gems to get that very nice shine, like geometric cut look, is to use the triangular infill. You can kind of see it there. That's going to give you that chiseled look for the gems. You can kind of see it there. Yeah, triangle infill's my favorite. You also, what, heated bed for the gloss look? Yeah, really I mean, it doesn't matter since the bottom is... Doesn't really matter. Bottom. Surface is the surface. All right, cool. Back over to the Learn Guide. You put your LEDs in. Your LEDs in. We're using just regular hot glue to connect the lipo pocket onto the crown. Yeah. So Ninjaflex on Ninjaflex, the hot glue actually sticks really well. I was surprised that it held on, because normally hot glue doesn't stick to anything. Yeah, especially silicone. But hey, this worked out really well. The positioning of the lipo pocket, you just want to make sure that the opening is on the top of how you would wear the crown.
Yeah.
The little bottom port for the wires to go through should be pointing down to the bottom. That's going to line up when we connect our GEMMA. We're going to have the USB on the top so you can easily have it down on your desk and connect to try whatever animation that you're working on. Same thing with attaching the GEMMA to the pocket. We're just using a little drop of hot glue as well.
The LEDs were bent, were they not?
Oh, sorry, skip the step.
Yeah, you skip the
step.
Very important step.
You want to bend the legs so they're not touching, and you also want to make sure that they are bent to the closest distance to where the center of the GEMMA will mount. So as you can see here, the red and the blue ones, they're not going to cross over because that would just increase the size. So definitely be mindful of that. You can solder on the 220 resistors. And then for connecting the legs, I'm just actually using the female to male raw jumper cables. So it's stripped out of the plastic little end tip for that. And those are pretty good size for fitting your LED legs or the resistors right onto there. So you can either solder those to ensure they're connected, or I just left them so I could easily swap out an LED in case I broke the leg from bending.
True. Okay. Here's the hot glue step.
Mounting the GEMMA, as we said, we want to make sure that it's positioned with the USB port facing up, which is going to be a lot more easier to connect when you're programming.
Excellent. It's at an angle a little bit, just so it's
So this is, you were saying, asking when we were rehearsing how difficult it was to actually solder all this. It's a lot more easier when you don't have a camera and you're worrying about angle and getting the shine out of the way and shadow, so it's not too bad to solder all of these together. Just have yourself a little tweezer so you can position all the wires. I mean, it's just 3 pads, so it's not that difficult to connect. You can kind of see here. I actually have like a bunch of jigs holding that in an angle.
You would lay it flat, and then it gives you much more open area. Yeah, cool. You can click on any of these images to enlarge them as well. It's just a tip. If you do the learning system, just click on the image to enlarge it.
After you've completed all of the soldering work, only then you're going to line up your battery into the pocket, insert with the wire going into the little port hole in the bottom. You'll slip that through. I did make the hole for this big enough to be able to fit it through, but if you need, you can like take pliers or tweezers to sort of
force it through.
No, sort of like enlarge the hole. Okay. So you put it through, and then just enlarge
elastic.
it.
This is elastic material. It's not just flexible.
And you can slide the JST port through that. Pull it all the way through. When you're pushing on the, jump over to the overhead. You want to make sure you're pushing with the meat part of your finger. Do not use your nail.
You'll leave a mark.
Definitely leave a mark. These are
these
naked lipo batteries.
Easily dented.
So definitely be careful when you're pushing that in. I think I made one right there with your nail. Yeah. So push it in with your all the fat meat in your finger.
Fat meat in your finger.
Gently too.
Name of the show is Fat Meat Fingers.
Cool. Moving on to
plug it in
yet? Plug it in.
You coiled it too. Look at that.
You want to make sure you coil it so that it's nice and fancy, not hanging down onto your head, getting caught.
Wire. All right.
Show it there already. Move on to adding your headband. If you jump back to overhead, you do have these slotted parts on the print that will allow you to cut away. Depending on what the size of the headband is sized to the small headband that we used here. So the reason I left that is there, I didn't want to have all this even more retraction when it's printing. That
That's
provides
smart. It's kind of
provides nice supports for all of this on the top of it. So you can just use a hobby knife or just get in there and cut away, depending on how much you need for that.
Pinch and cut.
Yep.
Pinch it, and then you cut.
Slide that through, and then with the the horns, those slide in via the little 2 tabs on the side there. If you want to have these a different direction, you can mount these so these horns are pointing the other way. You can flip them around, or you can just go into the CAD and completely flip the tabs for this.
Or make your own sew tabs or something.
We actually have different versions of this horn. We have these long ones, we have like little shorter baby ones, and as we'll show later in the show, we have these huge like goat ones with flames in them.
Lovely goat horns.
Yep.
And
that's pretty much it.
Sweet.
Very easy to make.
Get your Princess
Bowsette peach inspired LED crown.
Yeah.
So we've been wanting to do this one for a while. Of course, everything that came together was, having the printer that could print this beautiful model out, the CircuitPython, the GEMMA. I mean, everything just came together and...
I keep switching cameras, I'm sorry.
Everything came together and coming up with this cool LED horn, or horns and
crown.
Crown.
I kept calling it tiara. Like, it's Princess Peach tiara, not crown. It turns out it is a crown. Tiara's different.
Yeah.
Different shape, different form factor.
So easiest, I think, costume to build in terms of, I think it's all you would have to wear.
Some of the things is, you could just buy a pre-made prop already and just add electronics to it, which is really good. The 3D printing is like, we have access to it, but if not, it's still the same techniques that you would use to put in an existing prop, which there's tons of great existing props out there. So adding a little bit of glowy LEDs to it is always a fun thing to do, especially this time of year.
Very cool.
Hope that inspires folks to do the same. Something out there, something that isn't made yet, like this Bowsette thing. It's like,
since this is all fan-made anyway,
I
wanted to throw my 2 cents in terms of different version. I did see somebody using this crown in their Bowsette cosplay, which definitely validated it for me.
It's great. Sweet.
Cool. Check it out.
Got a great guide on wiring LEDs as well, all about LEDs. You can check out that Learn guide on the Adafruit Learning System as well. Just type in all about LEDs and you'll find it. Sweet. Let's go ahead and take some questions. Where is that? I had it open earlier. There it is.
People are waiting on their ADA box. Should be there soon.
There's not an unboxing yet, John. There will be one.
He is editing it. Tuesday. Yes. People commenting on how they love how flexible filament works.
Sweet. Yeah, it's amazing stuff. And always a pleasure to put it in a project where it makes sense and where it's like, you can only do this with Ninjaflex because it's really nice. This, however, you could do in PLA.
We did print our first prototypes in PLA.
But it would, of course, not as wearable like this. This is great. You can put this on your kid's head and it won't hurt them. It's great.
All right, moving on to... Oh, Kirby's asking, Ultimaker 5S.
Favorite printer ever.
Yes,
Let's put it that way.
Can't believe how good that thing
Favorite
prints.
printer ever. Breakaways.
The quality, yeah.
Actually works. It's pretty nice. All right, that's my song and dance. Let's move on to...
Prusa's coming in. Prusa's coming in.
Prusa is coming in.
Yeah, Prusa's coming in.
We need a shipping thing.
What else we got coming in? Another flash
Maybe the palette.
Pallets.
We're working on the palette. We want
getting
to see
that other giant printer.
With it.
Surprisingly, that new Flash Forge has independent...
What's the name of it?
Creator 3.
Creator 3?
And it has independent nozzles. So that would be really cool to try those out and see how it stacks up against the Ultimaker's independent nozzles.
I like big builds. I cannot lie. You know, big builds, big printer buildings. Anyway.
Moving on to this week's, what are we prototyping? What are we prototyping this week?
Do I show the trellis or the saber?
What do you guys want to see?
Yeah, what do you want to see? I don't know.
You want to see a trellis, NeoPixel trellis, or a LightSaber featuring the all-new prop wing?
They probably want to see the prop wing. You guys still watching?
If you guys want to tune into last week's Ask an Engineer, right at the end, Lamar does preview all the cool stuff.
Oh, Kirby wants trellis, so we're going with trellis.
Trellis, LightSaber. We got 1 for LightSaber, 2 for trellis.
I don't even know where my trellis is. Oh, there it is.
Why not both?
Okay, well then trellis first.
All right,
because
let's
this is next
squeeze it all
project.
in there.
Yeah, we'll do it real
We got
quick.
way too much for this show.
This is the Neo trellis. We made a 3D printed case for it. There are 2 buttons. We got this button over here and this button over here. This is a 10mm panel mounted one. We don't carry these in the Star yet, but we probably will. These we do. These are just kind of your standard red LED metal push button. Got an on-off switch, so let's turn it on. It's running some demo code. Shout out to Kirby and John Park for helping me out with that. So it's got that random colors that that show up when you press the buttons, and when you hold down this button over here and press another button, it clears it and then gives you a new color. And you can kind of play this game where it's like, oh, okay, let me try to get all the same color, all the same colors of that first button that was reset. And that kind of makes a fun game. So when you get them all, you can reset the button. Snap fit enclosure, 3 pieces, actually 4 pieces to it. We switched out the battery for a LiPo battery, and it's running off of a Feather M0 Express, which is in there. So we can do CircuitPython, of course, or Arduino. It'd be probably smart to wire this into the reset so you can switch different thingy things. The update inside is I added a little battery holder for the 500 milliamp battery. We're going to switch that out for a 1200 milliamp battery because that seems to fit okay. And there's some wiring here with the, JST connectors and stuff. So this will be next week's project, and it's more of a, here's the case and some sample code as well. So let's turn it off now. So that works really well. Neo trellis case. Next up is the Saber wing. We've been working on this for a couple months now because it does require, did I hit something?
You're fine.
Okay, it does require a new product. So this is the kind of final prototype. We got some cool elements here. The bottom here is where the speaker is housed. It is the pommel. It is what was I going to say? It's a threaded screw. So this threads into this bottom here. This is where the battery is. So this is kind of like a heat sink, I want to call it. Inside there is a 4400 milliamp battery. We got 2 buttons in this sort of clamp. The way this design works is that you got these 2 threaded inserts, or threaded pieces that thread onto these 2 pieces, and then this is a clamp that kind of has this keyed pinchy thing that pinches it and holds it with 1 screw. And there are some nice dual extruded elements. You don't have to dual extrude it, but I thought I'd add some details to dual extrude it here. When you're mounting panel mounted buttons on a curved surface, it helps to have a flat surface, so that's why there's these extrudes here. They have a slight tapered angle to them as well so that they print without any supports. You can see how it kind of barely trims there, but you kind of need it to get that flat surface. Inside here is a secret panel, which you might have seen, so I'm going to just take that off. It's held in by magnets. And inside there is the Saber wing. This is like one of the first prototypes. So we're getting these manufactured in the next couple of months. So on here we have a 3-watt LED, RGB LED driver. We have a NeoPixel with 5-volt level shifting, so it can power a ton of NeoPixels. We have a speaker, built-in amplifier speaker. There's the pot to kind of adjust the volume. And then this is the Pico blade connector for the speaker, which routes all the way down here. The speaker's down there, battery, and then these 2 buttons here. So yeah, you get a button over here for on-off, and then sort of a mode switch button. This is an RGB button, so it has 3 LEDs in there, and they're all wired into these guys. So it's a wing that you just put on top of your M0 Express or your M4 Express. You want some real speediness to it. And this is where the blade is. I'll show the insides of it next week maybe, because right now I just want it, here. But building the blade was a lot of fun, and really using John Park's method that he documented in his Learn Guide. So if you want to get started on your builds, you can do that. This is a 3D printed cap, comes right off. And there you can see the coroplast, and there is double-sided high-density NeoPixels, the 144 meter. And then for the diffusion of the polycarbonate tube, we're using the paper, what is it called? Baking paper? Parchment paper.
Yes, parchment.
So let's turn it on. Huge shout out to Phil B for modifying the code so that it runs on the M0. I believe there's still some things to do with it, but it does have motion swings. So when I swing it, you might want to stand a little bit far away. So you can swing it and it doesn't fall apart, which is really nice. Best feature is you can swing it and it doesn't fall apart. Yay. Might speak too soon. So it feels really good in the hand. It's a 32-inch blade that's about 114 NeoPixels, and then multiply that by 2, so you get that. Yeah, it works really well. Sound effects are using like an open license sound files because we don't want to get in trouble if we redistribute them. But that's the Saber wing, the Saber builds that we have so far. There are some things I want to do to it, maybe. Add some wireless connectivity, of course, is one thing, and wireless charging would be another really great thing. So now the next step is to learn how to saber battle. is that what fell? Yeah.
So we're going to be a saber battle for the video.
Yeah. And then real quick, let's go ahead and share some super cool saber stuff from Azure Skies. So want to give a shout out to Azure Skies as he's been sharing his lightsaber build as well, using the machined builds. This looks beautiful. Here's a couple extras. Yeah, this is really what I've been looking at. So this is a pogo pin custom PCB that allows you to basically take the blade out without having to kind of pop out this connection. Mine's mine's kind of similar where I can plop out the blade. I just have to disconnect one JST connector, which is great because now we have these 3 JST connectors, but this allows you to easily take it off, so that's super excellent. And then using some other connector bits here to get that all started up. So that is a really sweet, elegant way. Also, I'd really like to know where you get that tube. That is a lot thinner tube. I'm using a 1-inch diameter tube. This seems to be like maybe 1/2 inch or 3/8 of an inch. I don't know inches. I know millimeters. But this is super cool. I like how thin that blade is, and Azure Sky has been sharing a lot of his build too, which is really great. So if you guys want to build a super awesome, legit lightsaber, talk with Azure Skies, man. He's got some great stuff going on. So that is the prototyping segment. Kind of rushed through it, but we really need to get through this. If you guys want to pick up anything to build your own lightsaber, Bowsette is a good coupon code you can use. We also have, of course, shout out to John Park on his Learn Guide on the lightsaber build using the Hollow Wing. So if you're getting your Ada box and you want to build something cool that isn't an eyes-based project, why not put some eyes on your saber? Yeah, very, very cool. I like this one because it's a little bit shorter, so you can like swing it around everywhere. Less soldering too with the
amount of neopixels.
Yeah, very cool stuff. Yeah, man. So that is what we're prototyping, and we'll be releasing those as the products get lined up and things. But we might have something else between the saber and the trellis, probably most likely. Real quick for layer by layer, we throw up all of our CAD files on GitHub. So if you go to GitHub/Adafruit and search for CAD, you will find that on GitHub. Yep. Trying to do new parts every week as well. Is that green? That's weird. All right, we're going to move into Community Makes, or Shop Talk.
Community Makes.
Shop Talk.
It's kind of like a Shop Talk. This week's Timelapse Tuesday is
this thing. Shop Talk.
Oh, Shop Talk.
Yeah, more Ninjaflex.
More Ninjaflex
Here's
stuff.
Some practical Ninjaflex.
So every time there's a new product released, like the GoPros, which we use heavily for doing our motion time lapses, of course we got to pick one up and get that buttery smooth time-lapse, hyperlapse feature that they have on it. But of course the first thing that a designer does is check, does our previous cases fit? And yay, it does. So this is Ninjaflex GoPro bumper, because the ones that it ships with is like this honking big thing that you don't
it's a
really
huge clamp thing.
You don't need all that.
It's a little bit of weight. This is really easy to pop in and out. The use
standard,
case is, that
3/8
built
to
in
1/4 inch for the tripod, not the funky clamp thing that they use. Don't like it that much.
GoPro knuckles don't need that there. Also have some nice imprints for like the buttons and things. They all line up
everything
perfectly.
lines up,
So good job to the GoPro team for keeping the same kind of external, because they know they have a ton of cases. So
yeah, so all the buttons all line up, they all work. You still have access to the ports on the side here, and because it's Ninjaflex, it just pops right in like that.
Yeah, couldn't do that with PLA.
Yeah,
just shatter.
Yep. So you can just get all that, and you have a nice little floaty thing on the bottom here. So this will float upwards, and of course your tripod mount
just
squishes in there. Of course, you can put this in whatever color. Super happy that all of my little cutouts work, like the LEDs. All that works in there. And I've not tested it yet. I'm still letting it charge.
Yeah.
But hopefully...
Can I go to Learn Guide?
Yeah, we do have a Learn Guide for this. So if you want to print this out.
Go to Learn Guide. So go to the Learn Guide. Here it is. No. This one. No. This one. We have so many Learn Guides. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the Learn Guide for it.
Super easy.
Shows more photos of it. Yeah. We do have the Cheetah Lava. That's cool. I didn't know that. So maybe we try Cheetah.
Yep.
On the Ultimaker.
Yeah, that'll work really good for
Inventor.
that.
We also got some camera bits. We love carrying camera bits because we use them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this was printed under MakerBot. Oh gosh.
Oh yeah.
Maker who? And there we go.
All the settings, how to set up your
you did support material.
Support material for that little port opening there. I tried printing it without that frame in there, but it would pop off. So I did try that. Of course, Fusion file if you want to edit this, if you want to have the 3/8 Cord 20 on the top for whatever reason, shooting like stereoscopic video or something like that.
You want to fit it into something specific. That's another way.
All of the bodies for that you can adjust.
Yeah. And then just a little assembly guide, which is pretty quick.
Yep.
Cool. So we got that. That is our shop talk.
Yay.
Good, flexible, practical printing.
I forgot what this was, a 6 or 5?
It says on there, 5.
Where?
Right there.
Yeah, okay.
Black on black, Hero 5. So that
5
one's what,
to 7, yeah.
Wow.
So skip the generation.
So
I almost got a
and
6.
it still fits.
So happy I did not.
Oh, that's great.
So we'll be testing these out. Cool.
It's a good student project too, is to make a case for a device. That's great little
This was pretty complex too.
Yeah, it's real nice.
Next up, when we were talking about the flaming horns, of course, we got to bring out, hold on, let me turn them on.
All right, so we got a learn guide for horns. Some amazing code from the fantastical Philip Burgess.
I forget which way looks the best.
This way. It's in the video.
Is it like that?
No. You wear them like that, or they're like that. Yeah. Oh. Look at that cool suit you got going on, man. That's super cool.
Yeah, so these are the LED flaming horns.
Yeah, these are using...
So we got a strip of neopixels inside there, 2 trinkets in each horn, and got that very awesome flame code from Phil B.
Trying to get a black background on your horns. All right, let me go back to the what is it? B? A? This one? So your normal size, yeah.
There you go. Oh,
goat horns, very long ones.
Bright.
Yeah.
But super cool flaming animation on the inside there, you can see.
You want to do overhead?
500 milliamp hour batteries in each horn with the Ninjaflex pockets with the little tabs on the side there that are attaching to the elastic band. We do sell the band and the goggles in the shop.
That's right.
This is actually printed with ABS. This is, oh man, 6-year-old horns as well. Yep, super old trinket inside there too with the
with the mini
connection.
The mini USB. Yeah. Here's a better look at the exposure of it.
Yeah, check
very
out
lovely
flames.
Animations.
Wow.
Very cool. This was an Arduino C, I believe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you can check that out.
Very cool.
The code been updated too to work with the latest versions of Arduino, so that's good. Because we tried uploading it, I was like, this is working.
Now you can see the tree supports that I had on the bottom of these.
Yeah, very challenging print, and so much curvature and overhang.
Nice and thin as well. So it's like 2 perimeters.
Sweet. Good diffusion on that.
And we do have a learning guide on that. If you want to do something even easier, I think, with some cool horns.
All right, man. You go to the same. I gotta remember these keys.
Looks like a ram.
A ram? Battling ram? Yeah. Very cool. So you can check that out.
That's just a nice little flashback since it is October. Halloween is very close. You want to start on whatever project you're working on.
That's right.
Yesterday.
We'll answer questions a little bit.
Yesterday.
Totally not working on the same as I'm watching this as well, yeah. Yeah, I've been just working on it nonstop, man. Keep doing, keep going.
Other really cool stuff for community makes.
We got a time lapse. Check out this week's time lapse.
This week's time lapse is
really simple, fun one. Dual extrusion. This is the video. In case you missed it, this is printed on Ultimaker 3, dual extruded with clear PLA and black PLA. It's actually Vertigo Galaxy from Filamentum. This is a great design from Greg Zumwalt, one of our favorite designers. It's just a simple ghost with a hollowed thing, with the hollowed kind of body and a circle cutout at the bottom for putting into your standard tea light. So we designed it for that. But I also have some little things I wish I had more time to do. You know, we got those NeoPixel rings, and it seems to fit perfectly inside the ghost bottom. Let's call it the bottom. So I got Itsy Bitsy running here on a breadboard with CircuitPython. Really easy to throw this together. And I have this as a 12 NeoPixel ring that is just being powered off of the USB pin here. And I have these custom-made, what do you call them? Jumper cables that allow me to kind of prototype real quick. So, you know, if you want to do some test fittings, you got a circle bottom here, and you get yourself a nice rainbow glowing ghost element, whatever you want to put this in. Make some goggles or something like that. We got these in stock. They're really easy to work with. You can kind of just press fit them into whatever you want to or glue them. And it's always nice to kind of wire in these jumper cables so that you can quickly test your code out and see if it's working or not. But yeah, I think one of the easier things is just, you know, no battery. Well, I do have a battery. It's a USB battery, so you just plug it in. You don't have to worry about the battery popping or anything like that. So if you got a bigger prop that you want to build, you can have this simple setup here. And that's, again, the Itsy Bitsy M0. So you can fit a lot of things like sounds and different graphics maybe. So there you go. There's our ghost with a NeoPixel ring in his bottom. Very cool.
A couple of makes for this week as well.
Yep, this is a Thingiverse design, by the way, that's on Thingiverse. It is, let me find it right here, so you can check that out. It's also a single extrusion print that you can get as well. Here he is with the tweed light. Looking really good. All right, so we got some other community makes. This is a really cool one. This is a make. Poray posted this. This is the LED Matrix Sand toy that we worked in collaboration with Phil B. It uses a Pi 0 and these two buttons and the honkin', I forget the display. It's a huge display. Is it 64 by 64? I can't remember.
I think so.
Something like that. He's got a bunch of different programs running on it though.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it's like a maze that you can kind of play some games. Wow. It's like a graphic, more graphic, another type of game. Emoji. He put the LIS 3DH is the accelerometer that we're using. There's the power boost. There's the buttons all wired up.
Very nice.
Really nice kind of way to get in the back there and just plug in wires and add different things. A lot of great photos. I love when people go the extra mile and just post so many photos. He even has a blog post. And the code too, the updated code. So you can see more code stuff. Printed on a Flash Forge, Creator Pro. Excellent.
Nice.
We have another one. He posted this one too. He had to make both of them. This is the mini baby version, the feather version, using the Charlie Plex LED matrix that we have as a feather wing. So you can check that out. Lovely print, good colors. It's the wobbly one, so it just kind of wobbles. Good design there from Pedro. This is we got two of these makes, so I just shared one. Really great. It's time of the season for candy bowl, whatever bowl.
Or planter.
Or a planter. Originally it was a planter, but you can print it really big and use it as a whatever prop. Very cool. This is a remix to the Halloween case that released 2 weeks ago. It is a bigger back for a bigger battery. So very nice. You can add all sorts of things to it.
Super cool.
Yeah, very cool. Thanks for the remix. Dr. Witch. And the last one we'll share is this arcade button.
Super old build that we never released. We
yeah,
have
on
to come up with
this
a new
is
one.
PR Adafruit days, yeah. So we basically get an arcade button and wire it into your doorbell system if you have one. This gentleman here modified it so it has a hood, and I think it's backlit maybe. And he's got some iconography there, so really cool to be able to switch colors out and get different colors like that. You can even do pigments too. Just a box with a button. Those are always fun projects, my favorite projects. And
very functional, though.
That's this week's Community Makes. If you guys have any projects you'd like to share with us, please hit us up on the social channels. You can also post it on the channel, channel on Discord, which we are hanging out there. There is a show and tell channel. Tube is 1 inch diameter tube, really?
Oh, he wants to see what we use for the battery. We quickly want to show that. We're using a 44 milliamp hour?
Yeah, I'm using the 44. I got a spare one over here that I can pull out. I don't want to pull it out of the Saber build. But it's basically two 2200s that are balanced. So it looks like this. That's how big it is. It's literally like just enough to fit inside the 40 millimeter diameter. That's sort of my limit. Everything inside here the components have to fit within 40 millimeter diameter. So this is about 39 or 38, so it fits with that shell, so it fits right in here. And the way I have it mounted is it's really just a press fit hole, and there's 2 little tabs that allow wires to press through it, but that's it. Big battery. Well, close to big. Biggest I could fit it inside here. I really like these because they're hardy, they're hard, they're not going to break, and yeah, I like them. So that's the battery.
The question on, do I buy a pallet too, or do I get a 3D printer with multi-material?
Oh, that's such a tough one.
I would just go with the multi-material printer, yeah, because at that point when you're just buying the, you know, something
if you already
extra
have a printer,
onto,
though, and it's a good
isn't
printer?
it pretty close to the price of what a printer would be? I mean, if you just spend the extra, I mean, if you spend just a little bit extra to get with the printer already on there, it's going to be supported. It's going to know what the calibration offset for each of the nozzles are.
It depends on your setup, so it really depends. Look at your options and try to pick the best one that makes sense for your stiff.
Yep. Azure Skies is saying he's using 18 650s together. Can't manage to fit a 2-cell side by side in the Saber.
Probably slightly thinner, like the diameter. Maybe it's a little bit. Yeah, the blade looks really small. I thought it was like ½ an inch. It looks really thin. It feels like my blade's like a little bit too thick, but it's what I could get. It's the T8 bulb guard size. I really tried looking for a thicker polycarbonate thing. I couldn't find one. Polycarbonate tube. So it is really thin, almost like too thin. Like you can squish this thing. Oh, come on. Really? There you go. So you can squish that. And you can, every time I swing it around, you can hear crinkling of the paper. Crinkling of the parchment paper. But it diffuses nicely, so that's always good. I think I could also get the parchment paper with one sheet, and I think it's wrapped around maybe 2 or 3 times, so the less would probably give you a more glow. It's cool that it gets brighter as you swing it. When it detects a little bit of a motion, it does get brighter. It kind of goes back down to like 50%. And then a hard swing will give you that white kind of flash. Very cool. Super fun to build these things. Hopefully this prop maker wing will help a lot of people out with their interactive props. Bowsette, coupon code. If anybody wants to pick up stuff, help the team out, pick up a kit every once in a while, helps us out.
Oh, for the trellis, John K is saying that the elastomer button pad is not included. Make sure that you do add one. Make sure you add one, yeah.
Yeah, it's something that we actually injection molded. So I want to say it's designed by Mike Dole. Mike, let me know if that's true or not. We have it as a step file, so you can CAD around it, which is what I did.
Maker Block is asking, can you run 6 NeoPixels off of one CR2032?
Ooh.
I don't believe so.
Yeah. It could barely light up a purple LED.
Yeah.
They're like UV. 6 volts though, or 5 volts, whatever.
Azure Skies is designing his specifically for sparring. Let's see how ours holds up.
$40. Yeah, I wanted to stay away from that, but I think I might go that route just for my builds. But the point is to kind of make it a really low cost, or at least as low as we can get. And man, those T8 bulb guards cost like $3 at Home Depot. And I got 2 of them. And you get this nice 4-foot long one. Yeah. I like it at this 32-inch length because I'm a short dude, so it helps out when I want to swing it. So I can swing it around and hopefully not break anything. I've literally been doing this for like hours on end, just doing this. You need to get better at like stancing or whatever. Yeah. What was it yesterday? We pulled up like every LightSaber fight on YouTube and just gorging on that. Very cool. Lipo it is, yeah. Go lipo. Maybe a small one.
Cool. I think that's everything in our notes for this week.
Okay. Yeah, that's going to be it for this week. Thank you guys so much. Let's see. Do we have any last housekeeping bits? We sure do. Later tonight, we have Ask an Engineer and the Show and Tell. Show and Tell starts at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time today on Wednesday. And then later then at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard, is Ask Engineer with Lamar and Phil. Maybe some more sneak peeks. Hopefully some new products.
You should check out last week's episode too. In case you missed it, there was too many sneak peeks that fell out of the vault.
Yeah.
So
oh my God.
check out
that
the
music
vault.
instrument.
Yeah.
Oh
If
gosh,
you see some synth stuff they're working on, definitely tune in. And have your questions answered live on air. You get to call in, win
something.
giveaways, usually the new products that are released. So
That's right.
tune in for that. Tomorrow we have John Park.
That's right. John Park, Thursdays at 4 p.m. John Park's workshop, doing some make code minutes and live
ramping
builds.
up to all of the AdaBox 09 builds. So you can get ready, start building out some really cool Halloween-inspired projects for the season.
We're on the 3rd. Come on, guys. It's almost over. It's like almost over, for real.
And if you haven't subscribed yet, get ready for AdaBox 10. I think they have started working on it. So
Box 10, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't forget coupon codes and free deals and all that stuff. Every penny helps out. So thank you so much for your orders. I mean a lot.
There's a lot of us.
There is a lot of us. Hopefully there's more. Well, thank you guys so much. Good luck with all your endeavors. And don't forget to make a great day. We got to do it at the same time.
Make a great day. See you guys next week.
Bye. And we'll play. No fails this week, right?
I don't have any fails.
I don't have any fails.
Oh, I haven't, but I didn't offload.
Oh, okay. Here's a song.